Disappointingly sparse crowd, it has to be said, for this one. It should be a really terrific match, both attacking players, of course. Can't see there being a huge amount of safety in this one. Maybe a bit more than there was with Trump and Liang yesterday, but then there were only about half a dozen safety shots in the whole match.
Well, Judd brought the red up the table here. I think it's available to the centre pocket for the Irishman. Yep, that was a loose one from Judd.
1.
Well, what about that? I mean, two great pots, really, for Mark Allen.
6. Seven.
Well, he's hit the ground running here.
14.
Good red to the middle, and then that blue, and straight in amongst some of the black spot.
15.
I know that Judd won yesterday, in the end, shall we say, comfortably against Liang Wenbo, 6-3, Phil, but Liang didn't play at his best, but I think Judd's going to have to step up a gear today against this man, because it seems that he's been playing well also.
22. 23.
And we know what a capable player Mark Allen is, of course. And you give him the chances, he'll take them. He'll jump on you. As Phil has already mentioned, best of 11s, these quarterfinals go to 17 tomorrow, and then Saturday, of course.
29.
And then best of 19 final on Sunday. And then they have to fly home for the Champion of Champions, which starts on Monday. I think there's still one spot available for that, or a couple actually, depending on who does well this weekend. This is the cut-off point for that invitation event. It's Fast and Furious, Phil, isn't it? Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah, there's snooker wherever you look. There's snooker wherever you look these days, isn't there? The calendar is overflowing now, which is great for the players. They're in a luxurious position now where they can organise their seasons, miss the odd tournament to refresh, get on the practice table perhaps, iron out a few technical flaws, and still have a great deal to play for. That's not gone as intended for Alan, though. That looks suspiciously like end of break.
Yeah, he played the cannon on the one he's next to, not the one to the left. He tried to get through the gap there.
Touching ball.
Well, the bonus is that it's touching ball. I think this red is on, but it's obviously awkward. But it is touching ball. He wants to play safe. But I think this one is potable. Nicely done.
45.
Could play the blue. It's got a good angle on the green to go into the bunch if he wishes. There's still one available to the right corner. He's got a few options here. Would have preferred that cue ball to be Slightly further away from that side cushion, though. He's playing the yellow, playing the red to the right corner. The thing is, we know what a great player this lad is, Phil, don't we? If you take him lightly, he's going to beat you. It's as simple as that.
Well, he's always been one of those players who can be very streaky in terms of when he gets hot. He's very, very hot. But on occasion, the mercury falls as well as rises, and he'll be disappointed with that one.
Absolutely. He's done the hard work to get back in good position, and he's left Judd this red to the green pocket. Back for the black.
One.
Judd took a while to get going yesterday against Liang Wenbo, but he was well, hot in the second half of that match.
Yeah, he was clinical, wasn't he, in punishing Liang's errors, making frame-winning breaks pretty much every time he got the chance.
And that was a lovely cannon there as well to open them up.
8.
And the way he stroked that red in so nonchalantly into the green pocket, I mean, it wasn't straightforward, but he made it look that way.
Well, his cueing again in the second half of that match yesterday was beautiful, really.
7 centuries already from Trump this week. But he's not happy with that one. I think he's just snookered himself on his intended red.
15. Jack Trump 15.
So 32 in it then. The lead for Mark Allen, but still plenty on there for Judd. Well, that's an attempt at a pot there, but he's caught it too thin. And although he's covered things at this end of the table, he's left that one on near the green.
One.
So another scoring opportunity here then for Mark Allen to wrap up this opening frame.
Six.
Well, had a trace of side on the white there, and he's gone close to the black.
7.
That is not ideal. And I just wonder whether he might take on the pink here. But with, what's he got, a 39-point lead? He might also close the shot. Just come off the black, put the cue ball towards the yellow pocket. Well, he won't be best happy with that, because that was a great chance to win the frame. It's a big shot if he takes the pink on, especially with a 39-point lead where the reds are. There's nothing safe for him if he misses. Shouldn't take that on, really. But it's all about how he feels down there on the floor. I think he's trying to push the black to the side cushion.
White Island 7.
So 59 still available, 39 the difference.
Yeah, just that touch of side there, Phil, when he potted the red, but that cushion was very reactive, wasn't it?
The tables have been lightning fast this week, even by modern standards. They've been quick.
Yes, I think there'll be a refit tonight as well. Once we go down to one table for the semis tomorrow, I'll confirm that tomorrow. But normally for the semi-finals and the final, they put new cloth on. The thing is with these tournament cloths, they're manufactured for just about a week, really. They wear out pretty quickly in these conditions. Put this on the normal table in the club, you probably get 3 months out of it. Well, that's a good shot as well. I think he's got yellow. He has. He's got Judd. Well, he's not quite fully snookered, but it's awkward. Well, that's about the best he could do from there. It's not bad. Well, he just avoided the double kiss, but he might have left this red onto the middle. It's very thin, but I think it it can be cut back in. But as Joe often says, the paintwork.
You might not have much choice but to go for it.
I think probably the other option is to come down the side cushion and just rest on this one there, the corner pocket, just push it to the top cushion. Don't think he'll leave anything there. That's what he's doing, I think, just off the side cushion. Well, I'm not sure. I think that might be cuttable. got the red too full, didn't get down the cushion far enough. Well, this is a chance for Judd now to get right back into this opening frame.
Four. Five.
Well, that looks a little bit straight to me. I think the pink is slightly off its spot there. Now, has he got any angle to get between these two reds? Well, that tells me that. So he tells me that he hasn't. He's looking at the blue. Well, he needs a nice cannon here because he's overhit that. Well, that's not too clever.
10.
He had a lot of room to put the cue ball into there. So he's going to need another chance then. Just 29 in it now, 43 still on.
Peggy Lee just checking the position of the cue ball in case there's a foul here and she needs to replace it.
Well, it's on. It's not easy. Especially from that angle. I think Judd might just slide off it and put the white down the other end of the table. And just wait. These two match tables, Phil, seem to have got faster and faster as the week has gone on. I mean, you know, these boys have got to be careful. I mean, the skill factor as regards the touch and the stroke, he's got to be way up there.
Yes, and at least this frame, which has been quite scrappy, has allowed the players the opportunity to get a feel. They've both had plenty of shots.
That was a fine shot. It's going to be an intriguing match, this, between these two. They're both good break builders. They can score heavily when they get in, but they can also mix it when they need to.
Foul. Enemies. Check round 4.
Well, that'll probably go back. Mark will probably play it again. Of course, then with a red on, he's going to have to hit one. If he doesn't hit it this time. Just too far down the cushion. So the slight adjustment this time.
Foul. Enemies. Check round 4.
Now then. Just have a look at the situation here. Now, can he see this red on the right-hand side, Phil? Full ball? I think he can, can he?
Yeah.
So it will be one then.
Has to hit one this time.
Have you missed this? I have to warn you if you miss this time.
He has been warned. He knows. He'll probably play the one on the side cushion now. slightly ironic if they'd got the cross double and cleared up.
Well, sometimes in a situation like that, you see a player forced to go for a pot they didn't want to take on because of the risk, and they end up potting it. Well, that was different.
Well, he's hit that half ball. And I think he might have left it if it rolls. Well, he's got away with that, actually. Hit it all wrong, got away with it.
Yan Bingtao, by the way, has taken the opening frame against John Higgins. Well, if he could beat O'Sullivan and Higgins in the same tournament, that would be something special.
Yeah, Ricky Walden, Jack Latowski on the way as well.
Well, that went horribly wrong, but could have been worse. He could have left the red into the right centre.
Yeah, but I think we'll see Judd have a go at this to the corner. There's nothing safe here. He can steal the frame if he has a go. Wow, what about that? Elected for the snooker, well played.
Foul. Enemies. Jack Trump 4.
Oh, that's going back. If that cue ball had rolled another couple of inches, it wouldn't have done because Judd would have taken it on, but well, this time he can't be warned because he's full ball snookered. So he can play this all day if he wishes. Yep, nicely done. Good pot. Hang on.
1.
And he's on the brown. I think he can. I think he's got the angle to drop in behind this last red. Well, at first glance, I thought he's got the perfect angle, sort of angle on the brown here, but he doesn't fancy it.
Right, Ellen 1.
Well, that's fair enough, making it more difficult for Judd, but he hasn't laid the snooker. Well, perhaps he has. That's why Judd's coming off the side cushion. I thought Judd could see some of the red. Well, good angle, good pace. Again. Well, these boys do it time and time again. That's a great touch.
Well, I think it's safe to say they've got the pace of the table.
Well, we've seen some pretty quick tables this season, but I think this week have been some of the fastest.
$18 the difference, still 35 there.
Thank you.
Long opening frame, but these are just as important as the ones won with a single break, and sometimes more so because you've put so much effort into them. It's always a fillip for whoever wins it and a bit of a blow for whoever doesn't.
Yeah, I think Mark's got the snooker there. Well, it seems you can see some of it. Oh, yeah, there's plenty there. Hang on. Sometimes these camera angles can give you a false impression of what the shot is. Still a lot to play for, though. Just 18 in it, 35 on. That's not bad. KG. Well, he's caught that well. Could have easily have left that on. Had to just swerve around the pink slightly. So, still don't know who's going to win this opening frame. Could still be this man. He's overhit that. Again, the pace has caught him out. Well, a chance at the pot here. And he can stun over for the pink. I mean, the green and brown are slightly awkward, but they're not. They're still potable. He might have a go at this one. No. Oh, that's clever. Just nudge the black into a better position. And he's got the snooker. Bit cagey this, Phil.
Yes, we're expecting lots of breaks today, but this one's been much more tactical battle.
Well, I think there's going to be more safety play in this opening frame than there might be in the rest of the match. We shall see. I think I'm right in saying, Phil, this is the first time Mark Allen's been on one of these match tables. He's been around the back most of the week, so but he's found his touch and found the pace. There's not a lot of difference actually between these two match tables and the others round the other side, but it's just it's the lighting which is a little bit hotter and it dries things out. You've got the under table heaters, of course, but they've got those on all the tables. But the overhead lighting just dry things out a little bit more.
Well, there you go. 31 minutes and counting. Could be some way to go yet.
Well, I think we've had 6 or 7 minutes, probably more on this last red.
Quite unusual for this pair to be embroiled in a frame like this. But that could be the key mistake.
Yeah.
Already 18 in front, so Allen has the chance here to close this out.
One.
Well, that was very interesting because now with the blue he only needs the yellow. That was clever thinking. He could have gone down for the yellow there, but of course the green and brown are awkward. But he's got a 24-point lead. The yellow makes it 26 with 25 on. So that was good thinking there.
8.
So that shows that he's on it, Phil. He's thinking well.
Mark Allen, 8.
Just the one snooker though, so of course Trump will play on.
Yeah, it's just had to make sure there that he didn't play the push shot. Hit it clean though. Well, there is the snooker. Or is it? It looks like you can see something through the gap. Oh, that's amazing. Well, he's called it far too thin. He played a poor shot on the last red, and now he's played a poor safety there on the green. I think this frame is over, especially if this goes in.
3.
Well, he's been a little bit cagey towards the end of this frame. Mark started really well in the opener, but he's pretty much kept control of it once he got onto the last red and the ball colours. Has Judd had enough?
Yeah. Frame conceded.
2 snookers required. Trump decides he's had enough of that frame. It was a long one, a scrappy frame, but Mark Allen has taken it. So first blood to the man from Antrim, Northern Ireland. He leads 1-0. of Allen in this their 15th meeting, 7 wins apiece. Trump having beaten Mark Allen recently 4-3 in the European Masters. Their first meeting in 3 years. But this, of course, is over the longer best-of-11 frame format. Earlier on today, Mark Selby came through against Robbie Williams, the man who knocked out Neil Robertson, 6-2 Selby. And Martin Gould edged out Ali Carter, 6-5. They will play in the semi-final tomorrow. The winner of this will play the winner of the match going on right now on table 1 between Yan Bingtao and John Higgins. Yan won the first frame and is currently 26 points in front in the second on a break of 25. Look at the action Trump got on the cue ball there. Playing that red with a degree of safety in mind.
Nicely done. He's going to be on the brown as well. Ooh, where is he? Well, he's on the green anyway. Good pot. Needs to hit straight back here after losing the opener. Played well yesterday. We know he's in good stroke, Judd Trump. Ooh, that wasn't exactly clean, but it went in.
4. 5.
Let's go back to the tables. I mean, these tables are a joy to play on when they're playing this well. They really are. I mean, these boys just stroke the balls around the table. Don't have to put a lot of power into them. And it makes for good cueing, really. The olden days, Phil. Black and white, hybrids.
Yeah.
Hang on, I don't go back that far. Come on.
Yeah, you had to work the cue ball rather more back then, didn't you? When the cloths were thicker.
Mm. Well, they started with the crystallites, didn't they? Then they had the super crystallites, and now we've gone to the Armouth.
13.
I mean, look at that. I mean, he's hardly hit that. Look at the side he's got on that. And there is a loose red to the right of the pack there. He hardly hit that, but he's still got the right side of the blue. The thing is, as well, we're talking about having the refit and all that. I don't know whether, well, I don't know. Will they do a refit? Because these tables are playing that well, but sort of wearing out a little bit. But we haven't seen a lot of kicks this week. We haven't seen a lot of big bounces. I know these boys are playing with this new finished chalk as well, and it's obvious on the cloth there's not a lot of chalk marks. So perhaps this new chalk is doing the business.
Yeah, I mean, presumably because we're going down to one table, there'd be an automatic refit in any case.
I think so. I think it's scheduled in. I mean, they used to do 2 when they did the World Championship at Sheffield, but now they do 3. Well, just look at the bounce there.
24.
That's absolutely flew off that cushion.
$25.
Get this table in your house, Phil, eh? Get the lads round. Knock in a few centuries.
I'd have to knock out a few walls first. This frame threatening to be rather swifter than the first. Trump in with that excellent red. Looking good here.
33.
Well, he can go into the pack here with the knowledge he'll leave himself on the left on red. Oh, hang on. He might have hidden behind, it's gone behind the other red, I think.
Well, if he has, that's incredibly unlucky.
40.
Yeah. Well, he didn't catch that red full, did he? He just caught it to the side, and then the white has sort of trapped itself behind that red. Touching ball would be handy. But he can slide off the other one. Well, it's not been declared yet.
Peggy Lee's clearly of the view it isn't touching. Trump double checking. He'll be very disappointed there. It was looking like a frame winning break.
Yeah, just didn't quite catch the red correct.
Jack Trump 40.
Well, 40 could have been more.
Stand by for an update on the table 1. Begins Jan with Joe. 5.
Let's have a look at what's happening on table 1 between Yan Bingtao, the man who knocked out Ronnie O'Sullivan in such sensational fashion. And he's got just as tough a nut to crack today against John Higgins. As you can see, though, he's made a good start, Yan.
Yep, and John in this one, 41 behind, only 35 on. He needs 2 snookers. Could be 2-0.
Back on table 2. 3.
We'll keep you up to date, of course. Winner of that plays the winner of this.
Judd already has a 40-point lead. He's looking at this red to the yellow pocket. Bit thin, bit pacey. Well, we might be seeing Judd have a go at one of these. If he can get in, get onto a colour where the reds are, he should wrap up the second frame. Well, he's queuing well enough. I can't see him missing this, really. Oh, again, it's just not a good kiss there, really, to stay on the pink. It's a good red, but he might take on the blue.
Brown ball.
No, he's taking on the brown, actually. It's near the pocket. Nicely done.
Five.
Well, one is blocked. He could have done with that white, just travelling a little bit more, actually. He's got the one to the centre. But if he can get himself onto the black here, it should be one apiece.
6.
Just got a feeling about this match, though, Phil. I think it's going to be something like 6-4, 6-5.
Well, actually, they've only played 2 final frame deciders in their previous 14 meetings, but they've had some close matches. Of course, the UK final was 10-8 in Trump's favour.
40.
But this is a great chance now to level the match.
Yes, and Mark's safety was just a touch on the thin side. I mean, it wasn't really a poor safety. It was just slightly overhit on these super fast tables. And if you're not right on the stroke, they can make you look silly at times. I remember playing a
20.
seniors qualify a couple of years ago at actually it was Barnsley Metrodome, where we've just been for the English Open, and I'd just come off the back of 4 days of the international qualifiers, Phil, and the tables were lightning fast. Took me a while, best of threes as well, so you didn't have much time to settle into it. I played onto the blue,
25.
had a tracer side on cue ball, finished on the green. It was incredible.
26.
Yep, that was the winning ball for Trump, barring snookers.
Mind you, I think I used to do that when there wasn't this fast.
Too modest.
31.
Well, kicked off with a 40 earlier on, and now just put in the finishing touches.
32.
Yes, it's going to be it's going to be a difficult one to call. I'm just at the moment, I haven't seen Mark play up to today. Well, I have done, of course, but not on the main table. But he's obviously playing well. But we know how well Judd's playing, so I don't know. I'm just going to edge towards
39.
Judd at the moment. Once he gets to 5-all, I might change my mind.
40.
So, a 40 matched by another 40. Can he get the blue?
I think the one certainty is they both have a lot of respect for the other's game, and that's
45.
reflected in their previous meetings. 7 wins apiece, so Trump will know he's under threat today.
46.
He is the favourite, of course. He's the higher ranked player. He's been in tremendous form in the last season and a half. More so than Allen, but I think Trump brings the best out of Allen when they play, so it's a tough one to call, as you say.
Well, that was novel, to get onto the last red and put the pink into a better position. Well, clean up the in clear.
Jack Trump 53. Frame conceded.
So breaks of 40 and 53, a much cleaner, a much swifter frame. The second to the first, and it's gone the way of Judd Trump, who levels the match. So battle joined here in Darching, 1 apiece. They both need 5 more to go through to the semi-finals. And we'll have frame 3 coming right up. Stay with us then. We'll be back after this short break. There on the reds, looking to play safe. 1-1 here. Breaks of 40 and 53 from Trump to level after that scrappy and lengthy opener. Just missed the paintwork, as Mr. Johnson would say. And over on table 1, Yan Bingtao has doubled his lead over John Higgins, 2-0 to the teenager from China.
Yeah, John needed a couple of snookers on the last red, didn't get them, and Yan just knocked the yellow in, and that was the end of that, really. 2-0, so long way to go, though. We know how tenacious John Higgins is. Came across that one. Where's it going to finish? Well, it's not bad.
Three ranking titles on the Mark Allen CV, back-to-back at the World Open in China, 2012 and 13. And last year he won the Players' Championship, his first domestic major title. Arguably a modest return for a player of his talents. Trump, of course, now has 8 ranking titles, winning his 8th in Belgium just a couple of weeks ago to defend his title. That was an attacking safety. That really has opened them. But has he left a tempter?
I think he has. I think he can see this one over the right corner.
One.
It's not bad. He's got a good angle on the yellow to the centre. I think he's got enough angle to get close to the reds as well. Pink and black out of commission at the moment, but the blue's still available. In fact, having said that about the pink, with the second glance, I think it might go to the left corner if you can get on it.
Three.
Well, that's not finished ideally. It's got an angle on the right on red, but it's got to do something with the cue ball to get back for the blue. I just wonder, he's looking at this, he's looking at the gap now through the red, so to cannon the red nearest the black. If he can get through there, well... No, he's not looking at anything here. He can't see that one, but I think there's a small gap there, and I just wonder whether you can get that red away from the black. It's going to have to be very accurate, and of course, if he doesn't get it, he's nowhere as regards colour. Oh, well done.
Oh, he's played that superbly, hasn't he?
He caught the one on the way through, but it was a nice little cannon onto the black as well, but as you say, Phil, played it really well.
And this is where Trump normally does some serious damage.
Well, he's had 485 centuries in his career.
11.
And as we've said, he's had 7 this week already. And he would be definitely into the 500 club before the end of the season.
Yes, he made 70, which was the best of anyone last season.
I think he made round about that, 75-ish, 80, when Neil made the 103 that year, 2 years ago, was it? I think he was second in the list then.
12.
Around about 75. So he can knock them in. Well, it's great to be able to do that, isn't it? Although he's now left the cue ball near the side cushion. This needs a good pop.
18.
But there is a red there, you can just drop in for the black. Just keep everything still here. The head, everything, just make sure you deliver the cue properly. Oh, well, he was a mile away there.
From 18.
Yeah, extra pressure knowing that he could well be leaving plenty for Allen if he missed, and in the event, didn't catch the jaw.
Well, at first glance here, Phil, I think he's got away with this. I think there's only the red to the green pocket that's available. Well, I was about to say there could have been something a lot easier than that, but he's knocked it in. Well done.
Yeah, great opening red from Allen. Gutsy, and that's something he's never lacked.
Six. Seven.
Just got to get rid of 1 or 2 reds here near the black spot, open things up.
40. 15. 22. 23. 30. 31. 38. 39. 45. 46.
Not quite done the damage yet, but it's a good chance. So far, so good. Still a few loose reds.
52.
30 the lead. So 3 reds required.
53.
Another player that's got great touch as well, Phil, isn't he, around the pink and black spot? So he'd be loving this with these tables being this quick. Both great cuties. I mean, Mark's a bit short, a bit more jabby, it was against Judd, but it's compact, and to be honest, there's not a lot that can go wrong with it.
They're both exciting to watch when they're in full flow. They have a great rhythm around the table. They get their damage done quickly.
Yeah, they don't hang about. They get on with it.
38 the difference then, so this black and one more red should suffice for Alan. And this the result of that excellent opening red, which had he missed it, could have been costly. Trump missing a tricky one, tight to the side cushion when he was in.
68.
Yes, and as I said at the time, at the first glance, I thought Judd have got away with it, but that's, as you say, that excellent red to the green pocket to get in. And he has done the damage.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the first frame
25.
was atypical of the kind of snooker these two produced, a scrappy, lengthy one. The preceding, or the following two, I should say, have been much more what we'd normally expect, pretty quick.
$76.
Oh, he's got the angle just to stun him behind this red. He could take the pink, actually. I think he's got a slight angle on the pink to get him behind it. Chance of the century. We talked about Judd's 485, but I mean, you know, this guy's no slouch either. He's had 331.
Yeah, this would be his fourth of the tournament.
$83.
Well, every chance now. Just drop the black in. It's a natural angle for the yellow. This has been superb. He's not been straightforward. He's had to work hard for these, and he's done it very well.
90.
Currently ranked at 11, Mark Allen. His highest ranking is 6.
92.
It was no K season for him last time out without being anything special.
95.
But he has started pretty strongly so far this season.
99. 104.
Excellent stuff. A really well taken century. And once again,
110.
punishing his opponent's error. That's what really counts in this game.
117
Trump had
and
the
a
opportunity he was in. Lost prime position, missed a tricky one from close to the side cushion, and Allen stepped in courtesy of that brilliant long red to start with a century to move 2-1 in front. Brilliant break of 117 from Mark Allen to restore his lead here in Daqing. Quarterfinals day. We already know that Mark Selby is through to play Martin Gould. Selby beating Robbie Williams 6-2. Gould taken the distance by Ali Carter. They'll play tomorrow in the first semi-final over the best of 17 frames. The winner of this plays the winner of the Yan Bingtao John Higgins match, and I can tell you that Yan Bingtao on the cusp of a 3-0 lead now over the Wizard. In fact, that's a certainty. So, proving that Ronnie O'Sullivan victory, far from a flash in the pan, but O'Sullivan has spoken very highly of Yan Bingtao for some time now, rates him as a future world champion.
At 117 for Mark in the last frame was his 5th in this competition. He had 1 in the qualifiers, he's had 4 here this week at the venue. Judd's had 8, 7 here, 1 in the qualifiers.
Final frame before the interval.
Well, that was a chance. Would have taken control of the table, and look at the brown, it was bang on the brown as well. But he'd be happy that he leads 2-1, especially with that superb century. Both doing well, Phil. This is looking forward to this as far as it goes. I reckon hopefully this might go all the way.
Well, it always promised to be a great tussle. Another chance for Allen.
One.
Just look at the pace on that cue ball.
Oh, that is unbelievable. I think he's landing on the brown. Good pot.
Well, we still haven't seen it, but I think we can guess from Mark Allen's expression that it hasn't landed as he'd hoped.
No.
Mark Allen 1.
That will do, though. Yes, again, I just feel that these tables got faster and faster as the days have gone by. Super quick. Could be the pink. If it goes beyond the pink, he might leave a red on.
Wow, and a miss.
Well, the miss has been called, but I just wonder whether Mark can see this red to pot it. Or enough of it. I think he might be able to. And the black goes to the left corner as well. No, it's going back. Judd here just needing a touch more left-hand side on the cue ball, just to sort of get into those reds behind the pink. Danger if he hits it too hard, he could slide off the pack and leave one on. So again, it's all about touch and speed here.
It's not that far. It's quite close to.
There's a bit more side this time. I think he's caught the pink.
Foul and a miss.
Well,
Island 6.
that might go back. Just a little bit of an adjustment on the red as well.
Okay.
Just going to bring the still frame up here to get the pink in the correct place. It needs to be in the right place because, of course, Judd's trying to hit a single red. We have the technology.
Yes, this is relatively new, isn't it? This
这两个
form of still frame whereby when you get the balls right in the middle, they flash like that, which means that they're spot
这
on.
两个 OK 啦。粉色你看一眼。
In theory, it makes life easier.
可以了吧？好了。The pink. Just give me a moment. 白球可以了。白球，粉球。The pink looks okay for the speed more. Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're happy now. So take 3 for Trump. Don't think he's happy though with the cue ball position. This shot is causing Trump a few headaches. He's not happy about it.
Well, he might have to find another route here. Well, it's a better angle, but has he got there?
Foul.
Huh.
And a miss. Island 4.
I think he's worried, isn't he, about overcooking it and leaving that red above the black.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was a better angle, but just a little bit more pace, of course. Ah, now then, this looks better. As long as he doesn't slide off that red. Ooh, I think he's okay. About another 2 inches and the mark would have been on that red.
Yeah, that was the concern, clearly. But he's played it well.
Great touch. Well, he had a look at that. He thought it might be a 3-ball plant, but just look at the safety. That's perfect. Well, he found the plant this time, and if it's a big bounce, he's on the yellow. Well, that's unlucky. You want to be the other side of the red. He's covered the intended red to the corner. He's got one to the middle, actually. He can probably just come through the gap, but that's really risky. But how unlucky was that to get that double kiss? Might could be end of break. You might just play safe, but I say there is one to the middle, but it's, well, he might be hitting other reds here. Looks like he might commit himself. No, he's playing the safety, actually.
Jack trump 3.
Well, any other kiss than the one he got on that red, he might have still been at the table.
It's a good safety, though. Once again, he finds the baulk cushion, keeps the pressure on.
A couple of inches to the left would have been better. Oh, thin, and the white's coming back up the table. Well, the colour is not guaranteed, so we might play a safety.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Don't talk. And cue it.
1.
Oh, what a great pot, and a little bit unlucky.
Yes. Well, he still might have a go at the pink. Worth another look, but it's for sure. In fact, he's put the red in the corner of the pocket, so if he puts it in the middle, he would have got over for the pink.
John Higgins, meanwhile, is 55-0 in front of Yan Bingtao in a frame he desperately needs. 3-0 down. And Yan Bingtao had a chance to hit back, but he's missed a red, so Higgins should close the gap to 3-1 at their interval. And that'll be a big relief to him. He's been outplayed so far.
Meanwhile, Judd is having a go at this pink then. Missed it. He's overdone it. Wow.
Trump 1.
That could be costly.
Never easy, is it, when you're that close to the object ball, particularly with the rest, trying to judge the angle.
Well, he had a look at a couple of other options, didn't he, with safety and stuff, but chose to have a go, and we're talking about 3-1 over on the other table. It might be 3-1 here as well in a few minutes' time.
1.
Steady hand required. Wow, is there space there? Apparently there is.
Thank you.
Well, let's see.
7.
No, it goes on the spot.
Eight.
Yeah, Peggy Lee just checking to see if it went on the black spot, but clearly there wasn't room. So on goes Allen with the chance for a 3-1 interval lead.
40.
Good steady hand there, though. My referee could be a surgeon.
40. $90. $20.
John Higgins has pulled a frame back. So Higgins with a foothold, but 3-1 down at the interval. Yan Bingtao might just live to regret missing a pretty straightforward red when he had the chance to hit back in that frame from 50 behind, but he'd certainly have taken 3-1 at the interval at the outset. Winner of that, of course, plays whoever wins this in the semi-finals.
$26.
Well, he's got the pink open, but slightly out of position. Still might take on the blue here. You can stun off the side cushion for the red near the pink.
This is not easy.
Well, made it look easy, didn't they? Now he's got a chance to win the frame. What a great pot that is.
Tremendous recovery pot.
31.
Shows he's feeling confident, and why not? Stroked in a 117 break in the previous frame. Punishing
32.
Trump's potting error, and he's threatening to do so again here after Trump missed that tricky pink with the rest.
$49 the lead then.
8.
So not quite over the line yet in this one.
39.
Ooh, slow down.
Well, that really took off the cushion. I mean, that was a seriously big bounce. I don't think that's Mark Allen's fault. That seemed to absolutely zing off the cushion. Be worth having a look at that one again.
Well, he was hoping to be on the yellow. Look where he's finished. Took him behind the brown though. But he wanted to win the frame there.
Well, that's as big a bounce as I've seen for quite some time. The tables have been playing exceptionally well in recent weeks. We've talked about the impact of this new chalk that seems to have reduced the number of kicks and surprising bounces, but that was, to the naked eye, an unusually springy bounce, which ended Mark Allen's break.
And still potentially a chance to lose the frame.
67 there, 50 the difference.
Judd needs some cover here though. Well, yes, he's on a position off the last shot, but he's got another chance here to kill off this fourth frame, lead 3-1 at the interval. I think probably you've got to say as well, I would say on the balance of the play, I think the scoreline is probably about right, actually. Mark took the first. Judd took the second. Sorry. Yes, that's right. And then Mark's about to take the next two, I think. Especially if this goes in. Ooh, now then. That might be costly. And you know, 3-1 the lead at the interval. If Judd clears up here, this match could totally turn around.
Well, he only needed that blue and one more red. Surprising.
1.
Well, OK, Judd's got a little bit to do here, but I'm sure happy to have the chance. It was looking like 3-1. Hasn't landed perfect on this pink either. It's going to have to come round, I think, after a couple of cushions. Bit of side. Well, he's played that well because he's got the angle to go into the other two reds as well. I think he'll take the risk here. He could land on the pink or the black. He's got to get those reds open at some stage.
8.
Well, he's got one of them. Don't go in there.
9.
Wow.
Just checking the score, but I can't. Let's look at the score here, Phil. If he's on the pink, I think he's okay still with one red. What's that? 19. So that's 36. So now that red's gone in, he'll need a snooker. But if he's going to have to, well, he could take the black here and tie.
42 the difference before the pink, so he'd be 36 behind with 35 left. That was desperately unlucky.
Yeah.
Desperately unlucky for Trump. He played the cannon perfectly. And once again,
50.
the pace of the table illustrated there, with that red travelling right across the table into the pocket, which is the last thing he wanted. And this would have been a painful frame to Mark Allen,
Trump, 15.
were he to lose it.
It's a good snooker.
Wow. Only just.
Cue point.
So Judd Trump, having inadvertently potted 2 reds just now, to leave himself requiring a snooker.
Well, I do believe he went for that. Hang on. He was trying to get back for the black and then lay the snooker on the yellow, but this frame might be over. Especially if this goes in.
One.
So Mark Allen gets over the line in this 4th frame. He would have been a bit concerned when he missed the blue to the green pocket. But Trump was very unlucky to knock in the 2nd red. That effectively ended his hopes. Had that not happened, who knows? He might have pinched it. As it is, it's Allen who's going to enjoy a 3-1 interval lead. And he's played well, made that excellent break of 117.
Well, it's obvious they're both queuing well. There's some exciting stuff to come in the second half.
Mark Allen, 11. Frame conceded.
So the players head off to their dressing rooms, and Mark Allen will be the happier. He has the advantage after 4 frames, 3-1, which means he's halfway to a place in the semi-finals here in Daqing. The highlighter break of 117. They're off for a 15-minute break, and we're off for a short break as well. So we'll keep you in touch with what happens there as we return to the live action on table 2. Judd Trump with a bit of work to do to get back into this one.
Yes, and not the best of break-off shots either. Left this one on. Mark will be having a go at this, that is for sure. Oh. Nice, looks like he's going back over the corner. Well, Judd got away with that then. Of course, in some ways, Mark didn't want that interval to come. He was playing well, he was leading 3-1, he would like to have stayed out there.
Yes, Trump hasn't done a great deal wrong so far. And he was unlucky, wasn't he, in that 4th frame when he had half a chance to pinch it and managed to pot 2 reds in releasing the difficult 2 reds on the cushion. When he only wanted a pot 1, that left him needing a snooker, which effectively ended his hopes. But you get the feeling there's still a long way to go in this one.
Well, he'll be into them here. Just watch what he does here. Judd always plays like the power stunt here. He doesn't play the screw shot. There you go. Plays it completely differently to everybody else, and I think it's more effective because he's killing the white at this end of the table. So often you see the players lose the white when they play that shot, then screw back of another one and finish up near the corner pocket. But he plays the power stunt. And just look where he's finished with the cue ball.
70.
So it's a clever way of going into the bunch.
Sure.
Well, I think he was after a little cannon there for the red to the left corner, but he's got this one to the right. Probably won't play on the pink here, might play on the blue, just leave the reds open.
$24.
It's looking like 4-1 Yan Bingtao on a break of 73 in the 5th frame.
Well, it didn't really matter with the pink being spotted, it goes into the right corner pocket.
31. $32. $39. $40.
Obviously, Judd could do with this one. 4-1. That might get a bit sticky.
46. 47. 54.
Mark Allen probably thinking he's going to sit this one out. There's a century from Yan Bingtao in that 5th frame on the resumption after the interval, so Chinese
55.
teenager really flying. 4-1 up against Higgins with it all to do, the wizard. Trump still with a bit to do to make this frame safe.
$62.
Well, there's still 83 on the table, so not quite done yet. This is missable. A 1-2-3 clearance from Yan. He's got it. He's so good at those shots. When the object ball has that far to travel. Never easy, but he makes it look so when he's flowing. And now the frame is his. So this has been pretty quick fire stuff on the resumption. Just what Trump was looking for. Get in early, do the damage,
69.
get back to within a single frame.
70.
Well, there was a century there for Niang Bingtao on the other table. I wonder if there'd be one here. Playing some stuff, isn't he, the young Chinese player, Phil?
Well, he's been outstanding. This could be a real watershed tournament for him as a professional.
Absolutely.
Anytime you beat O'Sullivan and Higgins in a ranking event, you know you're doing well. Of course, he hasn't won yet, but he's given himself a great chance.
'83. 84. 89.
Once again, the pace of the table. Cue ball just running and running. This is a bit awkward. And just a little too thin. So Trump doesn't make the century, but that was a quick fire break of 89 to get him right back in the picture here. Just what he was looking for after the interval. And Mark Allen's lead shaved to a single frame. 3-2 Allen. He still needs 3. Trump needs 4 for a place in the International Championship semi-finals. Mark Allen made 117. And now Judd Trump responds with 89, his best break of the match so far. Just 1 frame between them now. Allen 3, Trump 2. Winner to play the Yan Bingtao or John Higgins in the semis tomorrow, or rather Saturday.
It's game on this one. Especially if Judd gets this one as well. Well, that's a mistake. That could be a costly mistake as well.
Well, both players have shown that if they're given the chance so far, they'll take it. And that could be very expensive. And Trump will be frustrated after such a good break to leave Allen with an early chance right off the bat in this frame.
Yeah, that's of course, as you say, that's the last thing you want to do, but he's messed up the position. Not quite sure what he was trying to do there. Didn't hit that very well. He was trying to stun around the back of the black, but it's gone wrong.
Yes, he didn't get the contact on the red he wanted, did he? So a bit of a let-off there for Trump.
Yellow ball. Mark Allen 1.
That was a good hit.
Just have a quick look on table 1, just underway in the 6th frame, a frame that John Higgins badly needs. Hard to see him recovering from 5-1 down against Yan Bingtao the way the Chinese is playing right now.
Yeah, and that could be heading for a re-rack, Phil. That red's up in the bulk area, so there'll be a little bit of tip-tapping around the pack. Won't be surprised if that's re-racked. Now, has Judd seen something here? I think he's playing the 2 reds right to the black and possibly one off the other into the corner. Oh, there you go, nearly. Safety in mind, of course.
Touching ball.
again, super strength from Trump. He's been doing that time and time again.
Well, whoever comes through, got the pace of the table, they'll have to get used to it again tomorrow because it's going to be a refit tonight for once we go down to the semi-finals, one table. There'll be a complete refit, cushions in bed.
Trump playing the better safety at the moment. Alan struggling to find the baulk cushion, and that can be dangerous when Trump's around. We know how deadly he is from long range when he's playing well.
Yeah, there's a couple of tempters here, the one on the right, but the only problem is you might have to play it with some check side to avoid everything else. He could cannon into the pink and the reds. He might not even take the pot on here. He might play a safety and just wait. It's not guaranteed position on a colour. Oh, what about that one? He found one. Didn't see that one. That's a great pot. Again, worth another look.
And this time, a kindly kiss.
3.
So back at the business end.
Well, this will help. He had the perfect angle to get back onto the black. Blue down the table. Pink might go to the right centre, but the black will be available now. Well, super chance this is to make it 3-all once he gets rid of this left unread. I think the black will only go into one corner at the moment. It might sneak into the left corner, actually. We'll see. 89 in the last frame. Didn't quite make the century. Didn't care about that. He needed to win the frame. If he gets this one as well, it is game on. Now then, does this black go to the left corner? The answer is yes.
$27. 28. 35. 36. 43. 44. 50. 51. 58.
'Wow.
Trump, 58.
He was just starting to look good.
It was looking like 3 apiece. There are still 75 on the table.
1.
This would certainly be a huge frame for Mark Allen to win. He's got a lot to do, though.
Yeah, perfect angle just to nudge them open here. Yes, it certainly would be a good steal. Ah, well, not now. That's gone wrong.
8. 8.
Well, he just needed that left-hand red to bounce off the top cushion a little bit more. He might have still been at the table, but had to play the safety. But just got to be careful here. There's still plenty on there for the Irishman.
Again, good safety from Trump, making things a little bit more awkward for Mark Allen.
Well, that was a fine shot. Yeah, just looking at the table, I mean, it looks a little bit of an untidy table, but again, always missed that. I was about to say, well, don't go behind the green here. This could be a free ball. And he's got the blue.
Free ball.
Well, he could play the blue. I think he might let him go from there, actually, to play again.
kleurbal.
Well, he's taking the blue as the red. I was going to say before, Phil, that, you know, it looks an untidy table. If Mark got in with the brown and the blue together, it wasn't too bad. Although he's put the blue on the
1.
spot now. There's only the brown that's the real problem. He could get these reds open. Who knows? He could pinch this one.
Six. 7.
Not sure whether this is a perfect angle to nudge into that first red, get it out of the way. It was, and he's played it well. That was good contact there. Got to get the white out again though, for
40.
the black or the pink. Might have to play this with a little bit of power. There you go.
Well, Alan,
They're
40.
always missable when you're playing them like that.
Yes, just didn't get the contact he wanted. It was never in. So another chance then for Trump to equalise here.
1.
Would have been a painful frame to lose, that's for sure, but it won't matter if he can finish the job now.
Eight. 9.
So this black to make absolutely sure.
It's game on.
16.
It was the best of 11. Now it's the best of 5. And who knows?
17.
Might become the best of 1.
$22. Jack Trump 22. Frame conceded.
Mark Allen nods his head. Judd Trump with the initial 50-plus break and then that run of 22 after Allen had a chance to get back in the frame. Mr. Red along the rail, and so Trump recovers from 3-1 down at the interval to now level here in Darching at 3 frames apiece, all to play for. All the match at 3 apiece. Remember, this is their 15th meeting in total, and it's 7 wins apiece, so I guess this is the rubber match. But they've only played once in the last 3 years. That was just a few weeks ago at the European Masters, Trump winning by the odd frame on that occasion, and who knows, Mike, we could be heading for a decider again here.
Could be, you know, unless somebody runs away with the next few frames, but it's been nip and tuck, hasn't it? And Judd, I mean, Mark, a little bit disappointed that he missed that red down the top rail there. He could have stole that frame, but it's 3 apiece and it's all to play for. I've seen in a couple of matches this week with Mark and with Judd, actually, where I've mentioned this is like the third round of a golf tournament, the time to make a move.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that Trump's passage to the last 8 has been a lot more serene than Allen's. Didn't drop a frame in his first couple of matches here. Chris Totten and Ian Burns both beaten 6-0, and then Jimmy Robertson managed to take 3 frames off Trump. Likewise Liang in the previous round, but for Allen, a couple of final frame deciders to get this far.
Chance here on this left unread. Nope. But at least he's cleared the reds with the cue ball. Having said that, there is a red on here for Mark, and with Judd not getting that cue ball past the bolt line, he'll try and pop this one in. and stun over for the black. It's only about, what, 5-6 feet away.
One.
Oh, he's lost the cue ball. Not good. Well, he's looking at the black. This will be some pot. He's having a go. Looks good to me. Oh, it's a little bit unlucky that, because the red's come off the cushion, and I think it's just about blocked the ones to the middle.
8.
Still has the one to the yellow pocket.
It was a brave shot, wasn't it? This was very thin.
Certainly was. Just look where that red's landed. This one still might go, though. Ah,
9.
no problem.
Yeah, and that's a good pot at that pace as well. Half a pocket to aim at, so a couple of excellent pots from Mark Allen to get himself in prime position.
Well, he's another one of those players. He's very courageous, isn't he? He has a go, Phil, doesn't he? He doesn't sort of hold back. You know, he's not going to shy away from pots like that. But there's that fine line between sort of,
14.
well, that way of being reckless, but he wasn't reckless there. It was a good pot on the black, an excellent red. And now he's put himself in a good position here to win the 7th frame. And too often these top stars take on pots like that, get them and win frames. That is the courage.
Yes, and Allen will be keen to just remind Trump that he's around, because he's obviously lost the 2 frames since the interval.
Yeah.
Wants to re-establish
21.
his credentials here.
And that is what this game is all about, isn't it? They can all play. It's the mental games that go on. It's having to sit in your chair for 2 or 3 frames, and then when you get that half chance to bounce back.
26. $27.
Well, he didn't get the reaction off the cue ball there. He played the stun shot, but he's lost the white. That's end of break. There's no way he'd be taking this green on. Well, I'd be very surprised if he does.
Green ball.
Well, that will annoy him, because he was in great
27.
position there, and he just he was a little bit careless on the red.
And again, not the best safety from Allen. There've been 1 or 2 times today when the cue ball has been hitting the baulk colours rather than finding the baulk cushion. Still a handy 27-point lead. Wow, that could not have been closer.
One.
Well, that's one of those where, had it gone in, Trump could well have been away as it is. The chance falls back to Allen to move 4-3 in front. But I think if Allen is to win today, he's going to have to tighten up his safety just a little bit.
8. Nine. $16. $17.
It's a good match this now, Phil, isn't it? It's still a difficult one to call, I feel, anyway.
Very much so, yeah. Well, both are looking really good in amongst the balls, aren't they?
Well, I mentioned earlier, I think we saw more safety in that opening frame with seen in the last 5.
24.
Yeah, the first was scrappy, 35-minuter.
Just the wrong side of the blue. You could drop this in for the left-hand red, but you might take the cue ball around the table here, but the brown could be in the way. Yeah, I think it'd be okay, actually. You can actually play it off 2 or 3 cushions and bring the cue ball over the brown spot. Well, he tried to power it in with stun and
Well, Alan, 25.
he's missed the pot. Well, he was trying to create an angle there. Fortunate that he's left this cue ball near the side cushion. But there is one on.
Still 75 points available to Trump, 52 adrift.
Well, at least he's got the cue ball found over that side of the table to cover that red with another one. Judd needs to do the same, really. Get the cue ball near the blue. Just wondering when he's thinking about a possible plant here with safety in mind. There's some distance between the 2 reds, but looking at the middle one of the 3. Possible plant. Well, there's always going to be safety in mind. Don't think he expected that red to go that far up at the table.
Alan, another player who seems to have converted to the new chalk. Apparently it's 15 quid a go. But it does last a lot longer than the more traditional kind.
These two at that price. But it's visible that there's not so many marks on the cloth.
No, it's been very noticeable, the difference it's made.
I think he's left that one. He can just get past the brown here.
One.
Yeah, I think the first time we saw that chalk, actually, on our screens being used was in the European Masters, Belgium.
So this is a chance then for Trump to hit back. He controlled the pace off that red very well to stay on the pink.
Seven. Eight.
Well, could do with it going past the yellow, beyond the blue, that would help. But I don't think he's got there, it's going to have to be the brown.
12. $13.
Didn't play to catch the red on the way through. It's just he's slightly out of position now. Doesn't fancy the black, looking at the blue. Nice pot. Where's this going to land? On the red to the middle. That's perfect. Well done.
18. $19.
Great chance to steal here, Phil. It's just the green is slightly awkward, isn't it? That's about all, really.
Yeah, these are the kind of frames that feel like they count for more than just the one frame, because Alan was 50 odd in front, as you see. So if Trump can do the business here, that would hurt Alan. It would also mean a third straight
25.
frame for Trump.
26.
Nothing you can do for now except hope for an error. Maybe that green might come to his rescue.
$32.
And that's the thing. Even though your opponent is at the table, you have to maintain your own concentration and focus just in case you do get the chance.
And I should imagine that's easier
34.
said than done, because this game is one of the most frustrating, isn't it? The amount of patience you need to show, Mike, when you are in your chair and there's nothing you can do about it, to try and stay ultra focused, concentrated on the task in hand if the chance does come.
Yeah, I was a master at that. Especially when I was playing Stephen Hendry.
What, staying concentrated on being in the chair?
Sitting in the chair. I had my moments. That was it. I stayed concentrated, Phil, but it was always in the chair and not on the table.
Meditation.
Great powers of concentration, especially when I wasn't at the green base.
So
40.
Trump just 12 points behind now. The green is still awkward. And this is hardly straightforward either.
42.
Well played, but where's it going to finish? Ah, now then, there's a decision to be made. Does he go for it?
Feels like it's too risky to take on with the colours otherwise on their spots.
Well, there's the answer. I'll tell you what, this looks pretty good as well. What about this? Well, that will do nicely.
Judge from 42.
If you can't play the pot, play the snooker.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Trump is getting increasingly adept at, knowing when to take a step back and play the safety rather than go for the pot. He's always going to be very positive and attacking, but it's finding that fine line between attacking and pushing the boat out and knowing when to play the safety. And that was, I think, a good example of a shot that perhaps 2 or 3 seasons ago he might not have played.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that, Phil. And Judd's 28 now, so he's maturing all the time. At the table, of course. Wanting some more silverware. Oh, what about that? Well, just looked to the heavens there thinking, how has he got away with that? I was expecting something there.
Yes, I don't think Trump thought it was entirely intended, but it was a good result, that's for sure.
Not many. No, he's in trouble. He must have been thinking, well, I've laid a good snooker there. I'm about to lead 4-3.
Oh dear.
Well, another day, he would probably have got that safe.
As it is, green, brown and blue.
3.
Well, OK, Mark had a little bit of luck getting out of that snooker, but hey, when it comes around, take full advantage.
Seven.
Well, it could have been easier.
Yeah, that sounded a bit kicky, actually, but it still has the blue to the corner.
This for the frame and a 4-3 lead. And he's got it.
Well, I think Judd will feel a little bit aggrieved there because of that well-laid snooker. We can't believe he's just lost this frame when he was in control of it, really, at the end.
Yes, it would have been a really good steal for Trump. But Mark Allen has eventually got over the line. So, Allen stops the rot, having lost a couple of frames. He's back in front, and he's within 2 frames of the semi-finals. He leads Judd Trump 4-3. Mark Allen back in front, 4-3. Perhaps a little lucky to leave his opponent snookered in getting out of a snooker just now. Trump certainly felt that was the case. Wore a face like thunder when he thought he was going to steal that frame for his third on the bounce, as it is, 4-3, but it's still very much up for grabs, this match. Bless you. Goodness me. That's the sneeze of the tournament. We're used to having shot of the tournament in snooker, but always looking for new innovations. Meanwhile, Yan Bingtao just a frame away from knocking out John Higgins. Remember, he beat Ronnie O'Sullivan 6-1, and now 5-2 up on Higgins, needing just one more. What a tournament he's having, just 17 years of age. Of course, his mentor, Ronnie O'Sullivan, was winning the UK title when he was 17 years of age, which puts his talent into perspective.
Well, it would be some story if Yan were to win the tournament this weekend. That is for sure. And he's playing well enough as well. Behind the green. Ooh. Just a fraction too hard. That would have been some, well, that would have been trouble for Judd, of course, but he's got this red on the right-hand side. He's got to be careful, of course, the red on the in the left corner. He might be forced into something here, actually. It's not easy to play a safety and cover it up, so... Oh, look at that, 2 inches more, and he would have been able to see that one, but he might be forced into the pot with this red on the right-hand side. Oh, well, it just tend to focus the mind.
Brilliant. Just stroked it in.
We talk about fractions at this game, Phil, don't we? I mean, look at that snooker that Judd laid. Brilliant snooker, but Mark got one back in getting out of that one, and that's the end of the frame. And, you know, Mark was a fraction away from being in behind the green there, with the cue ball. Would have made all the difference. Now, Judd's at the table.
9.
But it was a great red to get in. Can he do the damage and level the match up once more? Well, 4-4, we might be going all the way.
$16. 70. $24. 25. 32. 33.
Judd Trump's highest break of the match remains the 89 he made to close to 3-2 behind. He's also made 2 other breaks of more than 50. Just the one significant break from Mark Allen so far, the 117 that he made in the 3rd frame.
40.
But it's been engrossing stuff between this pair. It normally is.
Yeah, it's been very watchable. And potentially 3 more frames to come after this one.
$41.
Well, it's a little bit unlucky there for Judd, just potting the red, just glanced off or on the gap there, but finished nowhere on the colour. But he can try and get him behind the green. I think he'll put the white to the back cushion. Oh, in behind the green then. Well, that's fair enough.
41.
He was still at the table and he can keep control of the table as well. Would have liked to have won the frame there though. Good match this. Didn't lay the snooker. Just looking at the one there, the black, I think he can see enough of this red to take it on. Just stepping back, just letting Peggy Lee have a look at the situation. But I think this red does pass the other one, actually. And if you can see enough of it, you'll be trying to cut this in. Well, it's a good cue ball. So is that. What a great return. Acknowledged there, a little tap on the table from Mark. I mean, these boys have been finding that back cushion, Phil, haven't they, with regularity.
Yeah, I do think that Trump's safety has been the stronger today. But he's trailing by a frame. Perhaps he hasn't quite had the rub of the green.
Well, he was certainly in a good position in the last one when he laid that snooker. on the green, but didn't get anything out of it.
Yan Bingtao, meanwhile, is at the table with a chance to seal victory against John Higgins. He's only a few points in front at the moment, but the Reds are open. Oh, that is just outrageous. Look at the action on the cue ball from Trump.
Naughty, but nice.
Oh, we've had the sneeze of the tournament. I think we've just had the shot of the tournament. I mean, to get that kind of action on the cue ball over that distance takes some doing. There are some players who just simply couldn't do that.
Yes, also knowing that the pink was available. Got to be careful here, though. If he gets a contact on the red, it could go wrong. Nice.
So already 42 in front, Trump. This is a great chance to level once again.
Eight.
What a pot that was. Well, I can tell you that Yan Bingtao is looking scarily good on the other table. Just a red away from victory, barring snookers. And he just looks so cool, calm and collected, Mike.
14.
Well, he does. We'll keep saying it. He's only 17 years of age, and well, disappointment for the Wizard of Wishaw, but you can't take anything away from this young man, Yan Bingtao. He's had a fantastic week.
Yeah, there's going to be a handshake there very shortly.
21.
Judd not far away from leveling up the match here, so there's been some snooker being played at the moment by these stars.
22.
Just the black to leave Mark Allen needing a snooker. And of course, the winner of this match will play Yan Bingtao.
Just trying to get those two reds open there, but
29.
Judd's done enough already. This one to really seal it then, because at the moment Mark only needs one snooker. It's game on, 4 apiece.
Yeah. Good response this from Trump. He would have been very disappointed to have lost the last frame in the way in which he did. But he's come straight back at Allen. He's cueing exceptionally well. He's playing with a lot of confidence, of course, at the moment. He's already won a ranking title.
37.
And that roar, I think you can probably guess, is for Yan Bingtao. That was some performance, and warmly congratulated by John Higgins, who knows
38.
what a talent he's just played. That victory over O'Sullivan was no fluke. Yan Bingtao through to the semi-finals at the age of just 17. And if he continues to play as he's done so far this week, well, it's going to take a bit of stopping. He certainly won't be afraid
45.
of any matches that he's facing for the rest of the weekend, having beaten O'Sullivan and Higgins.
From 45. Frame conceded.
And Mark Allen concedes. So Judd Trump with that break of 45 after the initial 40-plus break at the start of the frame levels this intriguing battle once again. It's now a best of 3, 4 frames apiece. Who is going to prevail and face Yan Bingtao in the semi-finals here in Daqing? All to play for, frame 9 after the break. Begins his first ever ranking semi-final appearance for the 17-year-old. Who will he play? Will it be Judd Trump or Mark Allen? They're locked together at 4-all. Trump was 3-1 down, but he's hit back hard since the mid-session interval, and now it's a best of 3 here on table number 2. Earlier on, of course, Mark Selby coming through against Robbie Williams, the man who knocked out Neil Robertson. And Martin Gould edging out Ali Carter. So it's been a really entertaining day of snooker. And of course, we've got our first semi-final tomorrow, and then the second on Saturday over the longer best of 17 frames, first to 9.
Looking forward to it. There's been a lot of breaks flying in this week, including the maximum from Kyron Wilson.
Frame 5. Sorry, frame 9. Jack Trump to break.
Judd Trump then to get us underway. In frame 9 of a possible 11.
Just going back to that other match on the other side there, well, that great Richie for Jan over John Higgins. So just a quick calculation, Phil, and he's guaranteed £32,000 now in the semis. He's made 40,000 this year. So he's gone beyond by about £1,000 already what he earned all of last season.
Yeah, he's making big strides now, isn't he? It's great to see. One of many young Chinese talents who are really causing a lot of excitement right now. Wan Xizheng is another player who looks the business, looks special. Zhao Xintong, and there are a few others as well who really do look as though they're capable of breaking into the game's elite in the next season or two. Exciting times for the game globally. We've seen a couple of European players, haven't we, really make their mark. Of course, Luca Brissell winning his first ranking title this season, and Alexander Ursenbacher also looking like a player who could go a long way. Great run from him at the recent English Open. So it really is becoming a truly global game, and that is good news for the sport going forward.
Yeah. To come back to Alex there, another couple of seasons under his belt, he'll be more polished.
I mean, to beat O'Sullivan and Higgins in itself in the same tournament is some feat, but to do it with an aggregate frame score of 12-3 is really eyebrow-raising, isn't it, from Yan Bingtao? Be interesting to hear what John has got to say in his post-match press conference. O'Sullivan was full of praise for Yan Bingtao. I'm sure Higgins will be as well.
I'm sure he will be. Just outplayed.
One.
Great pot. Good cannon. This might have to go onto the green spot. Judd's hoping. Yes.
Eight. 9. $14. $15. $21.
I think Judd got a little bit of a kick when he played that pink there. He didn't quite come back as far as he would have liked, but it's still okay. He should be able to get himself on the pink again. Gone back for the blue. Oh, hang on. What's he done here?
22.
Oh, dear me. Well, he took a lot of time over it, but hasn't played it very well. And I just wonder actually if the pink might go to the left corner. It might sneak. He's had a look at it, but whatever. It wasn't a good shot.
I think the body language would suggest that it may not go. Well, we're about to find out. Maybe it does.
Well, it's got to be tight. Ah, well, he didn't play on that, and that was a bit of a bonus, to be honest. Now then, where's this pink going to go? Because I think that red's just covered the spot. It's going to go behind the reds, nothing else available. So that's going to tie the pink up.
Thank you. 28. $29.
Well, good recovery there. Nice little nudge off the bump as well, the middle pocket.
$34. $35.
Well, you might go into them here just to try and open up the pink. Medium pace would be okay. If he hits the red that's just above the pink, that would be fine. At least he can get another high value colour into play. Ah, now then. Has he found a plant here? And then he might be able to free up the pink. Well, if he comes off the top and side cushions, he's playing on the plant. Well, there must be something there. He's got the other one to the middle.
40. 41.
Now, let's just see which side of the table he comes down here. If he goes between the yellow and the brown, he's probably trying to open them up. If he goes between the brown and the green, there's obviously a plant on. Oh, he's caught the brown. I think he's okay, though. That's landed
46.
nicely.
Yes, more often than not, when you catch a balk colour going in and out of balk, it can scupper position, but not on this occasion. This has been an awkward break, though, hasn't it? Nothing's been straightforward so far.
Yeah, a bit of mileage on the cue ball.
47.
He's overdone that as well. He's going to have to play the blue into the corner. I don't think there's any plants into the right corner pocket. He's been looking at one to the left. Not quite sure where the next red's coming from here, because they're all sort of covering each other.
Still 83 points available to Alan if he gets back in.
Just sensing my powers of concentration while sitting in the chair.
Well, he's just looking at the possibility of that plant to the left corner.
Yeah, if that's the case, he might just bring the white back. Well, that's obviously his intention. But he's going to have to get this because he's colliding into another red.
52.
And he might be scattering them.
And with a 52-point lead in the penultimate frame, potentially, is it worth risky, this particular shot?
Well, we know what he's about, don't we? If there's something on there, he's going to have a go at it. Well, I think he's made up his mind. There you go. Well played. He was always glancing off that other red, but managed to get the cue ball away from them. And this is not ideal either.
No, he's really had to work hard for this break. That's another good pot, but this time he was trusting to luck with position. It was too thin to really control the cue ball.
58.
Yeah, I don't think he fancied going through that gap either and catching that red. I think he was expecting to hit one of the other reds, possibly the one right of the pink. Again, out of position. I tell you, he's got potential, this lad, if he can just play position.
Yeah, well, blood, sweat and tears for 58. But still, 75 there.
Judd Trump 58.
Well, far too thick, and he's nudged the other one up that end of the table, and I think it's potable. Well, that was not the time to throw one of those in.
Judd Trump has never been in front in this match. This will be a good time to put that right.
One.
But still not over the line.
Just like know what he's doing with this cue ball. The smile on his face as well. He's got the problem, the red down the table.
Yeah, there's not much safe, is there? So he's got to be careful.
It's not that easy to play a safety shot. I think a couple of years ago he might have got down and had a go at the blue.
Needs a colour and another red.
Well, I think he's possibly thinking about whether he's going to roll up to the black. That could be risky if it runs off slightly.
Blue ball.
Is he putting the white to the side cushion? Well, that's fair enough.
Trump 1.
He wasn't leaving a pot on. But it's a fairly easy safety for Mark here, possible snooker.
Yeah, didn't get the blue as safe as he wanted to either, did he?
2 point in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Don't talk.
So still 67 on the table. One more red and Alan would need a snooker, but Trump would want a bit more insurance than that. In the event, he's the one snookered.
Oh, that was one of mine there. But he hasn't got away with it.
One. Seven. 8.
Well, I think that's come far enough for the brown. Twice across with the cue ball, getting between these two reds would be handy. A lot to do here. This looks good. Anything but straight, though. Anything but straight. Well, there's not much angle there. He can't
12.
even get out for the pink to the middle. And the problem, of course, is the red in bulk, because normally he might just be playing a safety off one of these reds, but he can't play that. So he might just have to play the pot in and see what happens. Play the pink to the middle.
13.
Well, I'll tell you what. If he takes this pink on, this is going to be massive. It's one of those, Phil, isn't it? It could win in the frame, but also it could lose in the frame.
Well, he's got to take it on, hasn't it? He needs a colour.
Of course, yeah.
And he's got it. That's a great pot.
I'm glad you're here. What a pot that is. Well, that deserves to win the frame.
What a frame it would be to win. It really would be a blow for Trump.
I was talking earlier on in the session, wasn't it, about courage. This guy's got plenty of it, hasn't he? He really has. He doesn't back away. All the top stars, they have that courage. They take them on.
So 39 behind. 33 with the pink, with 35 left. Trump's turn to sit and look rather anxious in his chair.
Well, he's done it again. He's landed straight on the red. So you're going to have to play the pink to the right centre this time. We're here again. Has he got any angle here? A little bit.
27.
Well, another massive shot here. And again, it has to go in. I'll tell you what, Phil. What can you say?
Two tremendous pots, which might just tip this frame in his favour.
And he's got the angle to stun over for the green as well. What a frame to win this would be. Oh, he's underhit that a little bit. Oh, he's okay. Yes, he's okay.
Well, if
38.
Alan can do the business here, it will be one of the best clearances of the season so far.
I wouldn't argue with that, especially in the circumstances.
42.
And Judd must have thought he'd got this frame like he had that one when he had him snookered on the green a couple of frames ago.
47.
So Mark's about to win 2 frames here that really he wasn't entitled to. But that's what it's all about.
Yeah, this one will really hurt Trump. He looked a certainty, didn't he? To move in front for the first time.
53.
I just wonder if we might get a little bit of a reaction off Mark. He's underhit that slightly, especially for a left hand. He's going to play it with the rest. Now, that might make a difference, but if this goes in, just have a look, see if we get a reaction out of him. There might be a fist pump, something like that.
Mark Allen, 60.
Well, that is a tremendous clearance from Mark Allen. One of the best of the season. And what a crucial time to make it. That is a hammer blow for Judd Trump, who must have thought he was moving in front. In the event, it's Allen who leads 5-4. Well, he must be full of confidence now, Mark Allen, to have won a frame like that from so far behind in the manner in which he did it. Can he take that momentum into this frame and seal the deal with a frame to spare, or can Trump come again?
Oh, that was close as well, and he's left it. Well, that's amazing. I know it had to be thin, but he didn't get enough power behind it.
One.
Well, that's a terrific pod as well, dead weight. Just going back to that clearance from Mark Allen's though, Phil, I mean, it was only 46, but what a 46 it was. Amazing. Judd has to
7.
try and hit back. And we were talking about a decider earlier on.
Yes, it's surprising that it's only happened twice in their previous 14 encounters. But it's had that sort of feel about it all the way through. Just the one occasion where there's been more than one frame between them, when Allen took the 3-1 interval lead.
13.
He's never been behind.
14.
But it's a match that deserves a decider. It's been terrific entertainment.
Certainly has. It's just a question of with Judd here not getting careless, but he's queuing well enough. It's at that stage of the match, but yeah, I think I'm with you, Phil. It deserves a decider.
21. 20.
There's been a lot going on, really. But he's left that a little bit straight. Might have to play the red to the left middle.
$29.
my calculations are wrong there, actually, on that clearance, that last clearance from Mark Allen.
30.
I thought it was a brown and 2 pinks, but it was more than that. I think we've got on the record at 60 clearance, so it doesn't really matter. He won the frame.
Well, it was the 2 pinks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That were crucial. He had to pot both of them. If he hadn't, he needed snookers, and they were both very tough pots under pressure.
But this has gone slightly wrong here for Judd. Does the green go? Yes, that's okay. A roll reversal for the pink and green.
33.
Yan Bingtao awaiting the winner, of course, after another magnificent win for the 17-year-old, 6-2 over John Higgins, to go with the 6-1 win over Ronnie O'Sullivan.
34.
He's got a perfect angle on the brown here to go into them. If he just catches the reds, I should say, below the green, that would be ideal. Oh, what about that? Absolutely perfect.
Tremendous shot. This is some response from Trump.
38.
It would have been a real blow to have lost the last frame, but he's not let it faze him. He's just got on with the job.
Well, he knows he's playing well enough to win this match. He knows he's playing well enough to win this tournament.
$39. 44. 45.
Mark Allen already steeling himself, I'm sure, now for a final frame. He did have a chance, didn't he? Thin cut on the red, which Trump left close to the
53.
corner pocket, but didn't get the contact required to pot it. And this is the result.
Yes, and if we do go into a decider, which is looking like now, that final frame, Phil, will be worth £14,000 to one of these players. They're guaranteed 18 at the moment, 32
60.
to be in the semis, 75 for the runner-up on Sunday, and 150 to the winner on Sunday.
61.
Yeah, the guarantee of 14,000 and the promise of much more. Well, this is frame ball.
Well, you said it, a great response, and it has been from a great player.
68.
Two great players here entertaining this crowd and us here.
69. 76. 77.
Trump on course for his best break of the match so far, 89. His previous highest. Allen with the 117 before the interval. But this is sending a message
84.
to his opponent that he's mentally tough.
85.
Great response to losing the previous frame on the black from so far in front.
Again, let's not forget the one where he had Mark Allen snooker behind the black and Mark fluked one back. I mean, that's another frame that had gone. The match could have been over by now if he got those two. Possibly.
92.
Yeah, there's been very little to choose between them today, and
93.
it's fitting that we're going the distance. Another century for
100.
Judd Trump, his 27th of the season. 486th of his career. Seems
109.
bound to pass the 500 mark at some point during this campaign. Made 70 last season, which was better than anyone else. And he's going to be very much in full stroke
108.
going into that deciding frame. And the way these two are playing, the first person to get a chance could well
110.
be the semi-finalist.
Judd Trump 110. Frame conceded.
Tremendous break from Judd Trump in more ways than one. An excellent 110, a great response to losing the previous frame. And we're going all the way here in Darching. It's 5 frames apiece. Who's going to take the final semi-final spot? Lot to fill. Yan Bingtao already through in this half of the draw against John Higgins in some style. 6-2. Who's going to join him? Who's going to face him in the semi-final? 5 apiece. Terrific century from Judd Trump to force the 11th and final frame after a quite brilliant clearance of 60 from Mark Allen from 50 odd behind, including 2 superb pots on the pink in the opposite centre pockets. So it really has been a great tussle. It normally is between this pair. Their 15th meeting, 7 wins each. And this one has been every bit as good as the previous 14. Earlier on today, Mark Selby beat Robbie Williams 6-2. He'll play Martin Gould in the semi-finals. He beat Ali Carter, also in a final frame decider. And that's a great long red from Allen. It's a mistake from Judd Trump, though. Playing safe. Didn't intend to leave that opportunity. It's a great pot, though. So it's Mark Allen with the first opportunity in this decider. Can he make the most of it? And it would be a very, very frustrating way to lose for Trump, having not got the safety right.
Nine.
But has not gone as hoped. Looks like in the break, to the relief of Trump.
Mark Allen 14.
Might just come off the ready's nose too for a safety. Just missed the pack. He won't be trying to cut this in, I'm sure. Well, there you go. Well, I don't think he did. I think he just played the safety, actually. And it's a good one. I keep saying it, though, but it always makes the difference if you can miss the baulk colours on the way back. It's that sort of time, isn't it? I think this red might pass the black though. Too thick. With safety in mind though, but don't go in there. Wow, look at that. Unbelievable. What a time to throw one of those in. Great pace. And just applying the pressure here to Mark Allen.
And if there has been a difference between them today, I think it has been the frequency with which Trump has found that baulk cushion. But that is a really good response.
Well, that is unbelievable.
Well, that's about the best safety that Allen has played today, and a very good time to produce it.
Well, what about that one? Great pot.
Mark Allen 1.
Well, obviously Judd in trouble here. He'd like to get to those reds near the black, but the pink and red on the side cushion in the way. At the moment, it looks like this man's in control. Well, understandable that he's taken a lot of time over this. One mistake and it could be the match over. Which way does he go, Phil, to get things safe here? This is awkward, isn't it? I mean, he might just play it with a bit of pace and hope that he gets it safe, but that's dangerous. If it was an earlier frame, I think he might do that, but not the decider.
Yes, he's in a lot of trouble here.
Well, to be honest, that's not too bad. I don't think Mark will be taking one on here. He'll be looking for another safety. Well, if he takes this to the middle, it'll be unbelievable, but can't see that. Well, he did do. I'll tell you what a pot that is. Unbelievable. Perhaps he was trying to get the cannon on the red near the pink as well, but that was a tremendous pot. And he showed a lot of courage in this match as well. They both have.
But again, for the second time in this frame, going into the pack and not working out as he'd hoped. Bit unlucky.
Mark Allen 4.
Well, he went all out for the pot. He didn't get it. And another chance for Allen.
Well, I think Judd felt that if he'd got the pot there, Phil, he might have just missed everything. But of course he didn't, and the white came off at a different angle. How costly could that be?
Things aren't straightforward, though, are they? The pink's out of commission, as is the black.
Yeah, I don't think the black sneaks past the red. He's going to have to go down for the blue here, or the bulk colours. So a bit of work to be done.
1.
But it's a chance to put himself into the semi-finals.
Well, that's a shocker.
That is, absolutely.
6.
Perhaps just a momentary lapse of concentration, but shouldn't have been hitting a bought colour there.
No, I'm surprised. Well, all he had to do was stun between the yellow and the brown there. Didn't at all get hold of the white, but I mean the red is still on, but he's going to be hitting something at this end of the table.
And it's a very tough pot. Not that either player has backed down in that regard today. But with a 25-point lead, he doesn't want to gift Trump a chance to get right back in this decider.
Well,
Mark Allen 6.
he had a go, but just look where the white's finished. I'm not saying he's thrown away this match at the moment, but he's certainly given Judd a great chance.
One.
Well, at some stage, if he can get on that red that's just near the black there, I think it's available to pot, and that would free up the black. But take 3 or 4 blues first before you even think about that. It's one of those deciders, Phil, isn't it? Sometimes we see players take it out in one visit, or it gets a little bit nervy and a bit scrappy.
Yes, Alan's had a couple of chances already, and he's played a good shot there, but in the process, the black's tied up again.
Yeah, as you can see what he was trying to do. I just wonder if that red next to the black will pot, though. I mean, he can go down for the blue here and leave the white between the pink and the blue spot. He's checking that angle now. Well, I think if he gets the white in the right spot, that might pot. That's where he wants it, so from the blue, anywhere down the middle of the table, I think will be perfect.
Seven.
Well, that does look perfect.
12. $13.
Never been in front, remember, Trump, in this match. Made that superb break of 110 to force the decider, having lost the previous frame to that brilliant clearance from Allen. It's been a terrific tussle, it really has. Some tremendous snooker played.
Well, that's clever. He's brought another red into play, and he's got this one to
20.
the right corner pocket. So he's got, what, 3, will be 4 open reds. He's working these well.
21.
I hope he hasn't gone too straight. He might have to play on the one down the cushion. Had the cue power to play that. Well, he won't be fearing the worst just yet, because this is an awkward table after these two.
29.
These two reds have been cleared.
Yes, Mark Allen has suffered some serious pain in final frame deciders this season. Lost to Lazowski in the Riga Masters by the odd frame. Likewise, the China Championship to Matthew Stevens. In the World Cup to England.
35.
The European Masters to Trump. And the World Open semi-finals to Wilson. That went the distance as well. Allen on the wrong end of that, so he might be having a few flashbacks here. He did, of course, win his previous 2 rounds here by the odd frame to set up this meeting with Trump.
$42.
But still an awful lot to do to win the match from here. And he hasn't won the match.
No, playing it with power to get the right angle on the black, otherwise he would have had to have gone around the table. And these pockets do not give a lot away at that pace. I thought Judd might have played it a little bit slow in that and left himself low on the black, because with the yellow off its spot, he could have gone down off the side and back cushions and try and nudge everything open. But anyway, he leads by 17 with 59 left on the table in this deciding frame. This frame is worth £14,000. It's a lot of money. of course, the possibility of the 150,000 on Sunday. He's done well there, and he's got it covered, which is going to force Mark Allen to possibly play one of the others, which he didn't really. Well, he's got to get them open, of course, but didn't really want to play that at this stage, just allowing Peggy Lee to have a look at the situation, just in case.
Thank you.
They need to go back. But now then, what's he going to play here? If he clips off these reds near the pink, he's going to have to be careful. One mistake from either player, and it might be all over. Oh, there's a gap between the green and the blue. Not bad. Is there a possible plant on? Can Judd make these two reds into a plant? I think he could actually play this, but play the safety as well. Sort of white up and down, unless he's stunned over for the black. No, he's played it with safety, but he's caught the middle pocket. Oh, dear me. What has he done here?
Well, he'll be hoping that the two reds that remain tied up on the side cushion come to his rescue.
Well, you can see the idea. He was trying to put the white towards the yellow pocket.
1.
Yes, and even if Mark played on the blue to nudge those reds, the pink's in the way. Now then, it's not this one that's the problem, it's the other two.
8.
How is he going to tackle those? Just off straight on the blue would be handy.
9.
I'll tell you what, that looks pretty good to me. A fraction more would have been nice. I think he might have to just power this in a little bit, but he has an angle on the blue. Can he get enough to get onto these two reds?
Spotted something on the blue ball, so Peggy Lee will clean it while he ponders this oh so important shot, which could be the difference between victory and defeat.
Now then, I think he's got to power this in to get the angle. This could be a key shot. Missed them. Unlucky. Yeah, just looking at that angle when it's sort of the cue ball settled, it just needed to run on about another inch. That would have been ideal. But again, just has to be careful here with the safety. Don't get careless. Leave a pot on for Judd. Nicely done.
Right, Alan, 14.
So just 3 points between them now, 43 left. Everything still very much on a knife edge.
We have 3 players into our semi-finals. Who's going to be the 4th?
Yes, and this is one of the longer frames. The first was 35 minutes, but no surprise given what's at stake that this has turned into a lengthy one.
Oh, what about that first shot? That was tremendous. Trusted the table there. Dead weight. Well, he comes off the cushion, he could clip the one there, the pink, and clip the other one at the same time, but he's trying to get the red, I think, is furthest away. Oh, doesn't want the cannon the blue. Oh, he's left it on, and he's got the perfect angle to nudge the red and pink out.
Well, that did look risky. There were all sorts of things that could go wrong there, as indeed they have. But it was a great snooker from Trump, wasn't it? But he's missed the cannon.
Well, I don't understand why he's played it that way. He's played like a half-stun shot, but to me it looked the perfect angle. It looked the natural angle. He's sort of stunned it past the pink.
All sorts of twists and turns in this final frame. They've both had chances.
Why did they put us through this, Phil? But I don't understand that. It was for me, it was a natural angle to cannon into red and pink. Anyway, it's gone, and I don't think he'll be playing the blue. I mean, I'll tell you what I would play here. I'd play the black and stun over to the right-hand side, snooping behind the pink, because then Mark's going to come off the cushion again and nudge that red open.
And that's the problem, isn't it? Any contact with that red can release it into a potable position.
Yeah, I mean, we see where the graphic is, where Mark's name is. Just put the white there.
Well, that's not what he's looking at. So difficult, though, isn't it? When you're down there, the pressure's on to think clearly, get the shot selection right in these circumstances.
Well, I mean, he could leave. I mean, he could play the yellow here, dead weight. He might even get to the position, Phil, that he actually leaves the red on. In other words, he wants Mark to hit the red and open it up. That's an alternative. This is going to be interesting to see what he plays.
Blue ball.
Well, there you go. Blue's safe,
one.
but he's forcing Mark to open up the red. Clever.
Yeah, it was clever. He's got a bit of insurance with that blue. Alan has no choice but to release the red. He's got to somehow leave it safe.
Yeah, good thinking that from Judd, especially putting the blue safe as well. You know, if Mark got the chance. But Mark Allen's got to get out of this one first. Which way will he go? Well, again, understandable that he doesn't like it, even if he plays it cushioned first, sort of dead weight. And he's going to release the red, whatever happens. I'll tell you what about this one, Phil? Oh, what a shot that is. I think he's got the snooker.
Well, if he's got the snooker, it's a great shot.
Well, that was the other side of the coin. That was the calculated risk that Judd took there. And it's slightly backfired on him, so just as well that he's pushed that blue to the side cushion. He might be able to see it, you know. He was, or he could, I should say, enough to try and lay a snooker back. Or, well, he wasn't snooker, but you know what I mean. It's edgy stuff.
Could we have a black ball finish?
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh.
Well, Judd Trump won the safety exchanges earlier in the match, but Mark Allen's beginning to come to the party in that regard now in the nick of time.
And because it's tight on the yellow, I don't think he can get off that side cushion and around the back of the pink, so... Well, a few minutes ago, Judd was in control of this frame. Not now. Well, you know, he had options when he could have probably snookered Mark on that last red near the pink. There we go, just come up to 30 minutes.
Yeah, this is going to be the longest frame of the match, almost certainly. Obviously, the most important. Yan Bingtao awaits the winner in the semi-finals.
Well, there's an angle there off the back and side cushions, but if he misses it, he might leave a free ball.
In which case, that blue may become irrelevant.
2 cushions, possibly 3. Looks good. Well played. Well played, sir.
Yes, he won't want that one back. Well, it's just a pity there's not a bigger crowd to enjoy this, because it's been a terrific match all the way through and set for a thrilling finish.
He's got another one, but this is much easier this time. Cushion first. Got to be careful he doesn't push it towards this right corner pocket, though. Great finish, this, to a great match.
Oh, he's gone for the double. Risky, especially now.
Not sure about that, Phil. I didn't even think you could see the red. I thought it had to be cushioned first. But another day, I mean, it could go anywhere. The red could finish anywhere.
Well, on another day, he'd have got lucky. Pretty close to podding it, but for it to land where it has was a little unfortunate, I guess.
Yes, just look where the white's finished behind the yellow if it finishes at this end of the table. It hasn't done. That's a chance here for the Irishman. Still has the problem of the blue. But he is left-handed.
1.
It's the right side for him. He's just got onto the green. So this green will bring the scores level. And he only needs the blue. Hasn't played that very well.
4. 6.
Well, he'd be looking to possibly move the blue here.
The blue, which of course Trump pushed safe earlier in this frame to give him some insurance. Will it save him?
Well, I would suggest
9.
not now.
Terrific cannon from Mark Allen, and Trump will be fearing the worst. Allen only needs brown and blue. What a match this has been.
13.
Both players have had chances in this decider, but it looks as though Allen is going to end his recent sequence of final frame defeats in ranking events.
18.
He'll be feeling that he's due a victory in this sort of situation, and now, barring a snooker, he's got one.
It's only one snooker, though. And just finish it here. Drop this pink in. And he's into the semi-finals.
And that is precisely what he's done. What a match. Both players playing some terrific stuff. A painful loss for Judd Trump, having come so close, I should say. But that's an excellent win for Mark Allen. And we think back to that superb clearance he made earlier in the piece, which was part of the reason he has got over the line here in a thrilling finish, potting the blue to leave trump, requiring a snooker, dollying the pink in as well. And he is through to the International Championship semi-final, where he will play the 17-year-old teenager Yan Bingtao over the best of 17 frames.